Let's talk about a couple different types of projects. You know, projects fall in a number of different genres. There is a very classical development type of project. This is where you would actually create something. Maybe create an app, use a programming language, and actually create an application package. Now, while we do this in the world of information technology, realize that that's really not our primary focus most of the time. But in the past, I've had people create both hardware and software, and actually both of those. And that could be a fine project. So the classical creation development types of projects. Another genre is where we apply technology. In the world of information technology, one of our big jobs is to take pre-existing things and apply them in a specific circumstance, situation, or problem. For example, I'm not going to ask you to create a database management system, but you might take a database management system and apply it in order to solve a problem. Same with a spreadsheet. I'm not going to ask you to create Microsoft Excel, but maybe you can apply a spreadsheet in a specific situation to solve a particular problem. Database management systems, lots of work to do. Same with spreadsheets. Even though you're not creating the DBMS, you got to think about the schema, think about the queries. And sometimes people say, well, creating the queries and creating the schema, isn't that creating development? In a sense, absolutely it is. There's a pretty fine line between some of these projects. Don't worry about it. I just want to give you some ideas. A third genre, the other major thing we do in IT is to manage. A pre-existing technological system doesn't usually run forever by itself. It needs to be managed. Documentation, tweaking, etc. Upgrading a server, for example. An organization that has some old technology but they want to upgrade it. That's a great IT type of project. And a fourth genre, this is not the last type, but a fourth one is what I call informational or procedural. That's where you would investigate some current situation or maybe some proposed or planned situation. And although you don't actually carry it to full completion, you document it. You provide a lot of background information. You know, let me back up. I shouldn't say you take it to completion. You absolutely do. But as an example, and one particular project that you'll see on the list this year, at CUW, I'm looking for a way to manage printing resources. I don't want students to go in the lab and print out 500 pages and just waste paper. I've identified a tool I'd like to use. It's called PaperCut, but I need somebody to put this all together. Investigate PaperCut. How does it interact with Active Directory? How can we configure and manage it, etc.? Although that's partly a managed thing, it's also an informational procedural type of project. So as you can see, projects run the gamut here. What I'm going to ask you to do in this first week is to think about a number of different projects. Think about some things that follow our guidelines here and will interest you, to be sure. More information online at Angel. There's lots of possibilities, so I want you to investigate wisely. Choose something that interests you. Again, you got questions? Contact me. But this is week one. Let's get going.